understand that Africans were the first slave owners and slave traders until the Arabs took it over. Oh yeah. See, the Arabs were the main slave traders in Africa. As a matter of fact, Arabs are responsible for the African Holocaust. They commit massive genocide on African people during the slave trade. And I think it started back in 640 AD. I will provide a source for that in the description box below. A lot of black people are so ignorant about slavery. They think that slavery was started by white people, and they have no idea that it was Africans who initiated, and then it was the Arabs who actually took it over. And for blacks to believe that white people just got on a boat and came to a country filled with hundreds of thousands of black people and just start snatching them up makes Africans sound like a bunch of pussies. I mean, seriously, do you really think that European traders or European settlers or people who were coming to Africa, they were powerful enough to just snatch African people without the permission of the kings and the queens there in Africa? I mean, you're really making Africans sound like a bunch of bitches, and it wasn't like that, okay? They traded, they purchased all of these slaves, all right? So you want to blame white people for slavery when your blame is misplaced, because it was African ancestors. It was Arabs, and I'm not calling them motherfuckers my ancestors. It was Arabs who captured our ancestors, and then they exchanged them with Europeans, okay? And it was the white people who stopped it. So black people need to really learn your history and when it comes to slavery. And I will do a video, a detailed video, focusing on the Arab slave trade, because Arabs enslaved everybody, okay? They didn't discriminate, but they fucked African people up the most. And I find it laughable that black people will convert to Islam not knowing that their prophet Muhammad was the biggest racist there is when it comes to the Middle East. When it comes to Islam, he hated Africans. He despised Africans. As a matter of fact, he used derogatory terms like pig, pug nose, or raisin heads. And raisin heads is the equivalent of calling us niggas here in America in English. Speaking of the word nigga, by the way, do you know that Arabs still use the word abed, or abd? And I even talked about this in Muslim Feminist, The Biggest Lie Ever Told. Okay, I told you that there were so many Arabs who are still using this derogatory term in Arabic, A-B-E-E-D or A-B-D, to refer to blacks, which means slaves. Since black people were always considered slaves, they were considered lower than dirt, Arabs had no respect for them. And that's why you'll never be considered a real Muslim by these Arabs when you convert to Islam. But I am going off the subject. I will do a video dedicated to that. But what I'm telling black people is that you're pledging allegiance to a country full of people who never gave a fuck about you or your ancestors. And speaking of never gave a fuck about us,